Hello there, welcome to the news on Nepal television. I am Rujina Rai, starting with the headlines first. Meeting of the House of Representatives called for 1 p.m. Speaker Ghimire holding talks with the chief whips to smoothen Parliament's proceedings. PM Dali thoughtful of ending House obstruction, summons a meeting with the leaders of nationally recognized parties. Major coup leader proposes 3-year transition to civilian rule, also wants any military intervention will not be a walk in the park for those involved. Welcome back, and now we have the news in detail. A meeting of the House of Representatives is set to take place at 1 p.m. today. The previous meeting held on August 14 was adjourned due to the CPN-UML, the main opposition party, calling for the formation of a high-level committee to probe a 60-kilogram gold smuggling case. In response to this obstruction, Speaker Devraj Ghimire adjourned the proceedings to today. The CPN-UML has been continuously obstructing the Parliament, insisting on the constitution of a high-level investigative committee to delve into the gold smuggling incident. Meanwhile, Speaker Devraj Ghimire is holding a discussion with the chief whips from various parties as part his initiation to end the current impasse in the House of Representatives. Chief whips from key political entities including the Nepali Congress, Maoist Center, CPN-UML, Rashtriya Swatantra Party and Rashtriya Prajatantra Party are participating in the meeting underway at the Speaker's office in Singapore. This marks the sixth significant effort by Speaker Ghimire to break the deadlock that has been stalling the functioning of the House. Speaker Ghimire also engaged in talks regarding this matter with Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal on Friday morning for ending obstruction. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Pushpakamal Dahal has summoned a meeting with the top leaders of nationally recognized parties of his bid to end the parliamentary impasse. The discussion with these nationally recognized parties is scheduled for this afternoon at the Prime Minister's office in Singapore. It is learned the leaders of CPN-UML, Nepali Congress, CPN Maoist Center, Rashtriya Swatantra Party, Rashtriya Prajatantra Party, Janata Samajwadi Party and Janamat Party have been called for a meeting. Prime Minister's press advisor Govinda Acharya said the talks aims to find a resolve to the current parliamentary obstruction. The meeting of the Socialist Front is taking place today at the central office of the CPN Unified Socialist in Kathmandu. Top leaders of the political parties affiliated with the front will discuss the issues ranging from the government's function and contemporary political developments. The meeting is taking place for the second time since the formation of the front around 3 months ago. For parties, the CPN Maoist Center, the Janata Samajwadi Party, the Unified Socialist and the Communist Party of Nepal led by Netra Bikramchand A.K. Biplab are affiliated with the front. The front is led by the Unified Socialist chairperson Madhav Kumar Nepal. The CPN Unified Socialist Politburo meeting is being held at the party's central office today. Various issues will be discussed, including setting the agenda for the upcoming Central Committee meeting of the party, said General Secretary Ghanashyam Bhusal. Necessary strategies and action plan for the expansion of the party's organization and capacity establishment of the party at the grassroots level, contemporary political situation and political reports will be discussed in the meeting. General Secretary Bhusal said that the Central Committee meeting is scheduled to be held in Kathmandu from August 22 to 24th to determine the date and venue for the party's general convention. We still have more updates on the site. Stay with us. Time for a short break. Welcome back. You are on Nepal Television News. Now we have remaining updates. 2 persons have been killed while a child was injured in a road accident that took place at ntvithari, Kathmandu this morning. The accident took place when a passenger bus run by Gorkha Darodi Transport Company Private Limited hit a motorcycle coming from the opposite direction. One of the deceased has been identified as a 32-year-old Anita Thapa of Sangha Chok Gadi Municipality, Sindhupalchok, and a 32-year-old Ramkumar Bharati. According to police, both succumbed to their injuries at the TU Teaching Hospital Maharajganj during treatment. 9-year-old Anisa Thapa was injured in the accident and is undergoing treatment at Manmohan Hospital, Kalanki. The bus has been impounded while its driver has been taken into custody for necessary investigation and further action. Today marks the 17th National Information Day. The Right to Information Act 2064 came into force on August 20th, and since the day is celebrated as National Information Day. Marking the day, the National Information Commission has called on the public bodies to play an active role in the implementation of the right to information. The Commission stresses that the role of public bodies is important for the effective implementation of constitutional and legal provisions related to the right to information. According to the Commission, the right to information is the most important right among citizens. The Commission said the 99% of complaints lodged the last fiscal year 2017-80 were settled. 2 Chinese citizens arrested in connection with the smuggling of around 61 kg of gold into Nepal from Hong Kong have been found to be carrying Indian Aadhaar card as well. The Aadhaar card is a 12-digit individual identification number issued by the Unique Identification Authority of India on behalf of the Government of India. 2 of those arrested in connect with the gold scam were found to be in possession of Indian Aadhaar cards, said the Nepal Police spokesperson, Deputy Inspector General of Police Kuber Kadiyad. He also said that the citizenship cards issued by District Administration Office Kabre Palanchok was found with 3 Chinese nationals, while one was found carrying a citizenship certificate issued by District Administration Office Kathmandu. So far, 23 people, including the Chinese nationals, have been arrested in the gold smuggling case and are being investigated by the Central Bureau of Investigation, CIB. It may be noted that on July 19th, the Revenue Investigation Department had seized breakthroughs containing the smuggled gold, which was about to be taken through the customs of Tribhuvan International Airport. After 2 weeks of investigation, the department handed over the case to the CIB of Nepal Police for further investigation. We still have more updates on the site. Stay with us. Time for a short break. Welcome back. Thank you for staying with us. Now we have updates from International Frontline. Niger's coup leader has proposed a 3-year transition to civilian rule after meeting a delegation of West African leaders and warned that the attack on the country would not be a walk in the park for those involved. General Abdurrahmani Chiani, speaking on national television late on Saturday, gave no details on the planned transition of power, saying only that the principles of the move would be decided within 30 days at a dialogue to be hosted by the ruling military council. ECOWAS has imposed severe sanctions on Niger following the July 26 coup and has ordered the deployment of standby force to restore constitutional rule in the country. The bloc said on Friday that an undisclosed D-Day had been agreed for possible military intervention and that 11 of its 15 member states had agreed to commit troops to the operation. Now to the further development. Officials in Western Canada's British Columbia implored tens of thousands of residents to heed warnings and evacuate as severe and fast-changing wildfires threatened large parts of the scenic Okanagan Valley, including the city of Kelowna. Kelowna, a city of 150,000, was choked with thick smoke as it became the latest population center hit in a summer of dramatic wildfires across Canada that has left millions of acres of land scorched. Around 30,000 people were under evacuation orders, while another 36,000 were under alert to be ready to flee. Meanwhile, Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said he had spoken with British Columbia Premier David Avey about the rapidly evolving and incredibly devastating wildfire situation and placed federal resources in responding to the disaster. Japanese Prime Minister Kishida Fumio says he will visit the Fukushima Daiichi plant on Sunday. He also plans to convene a meeting of cabinet ministers next week in order to start releasing treated and diluted water from the plant as soon as possible. The government has started preparations to begin the water releases after the meeting. Sources say Kishida is also calling for talks with representatives from fisheries organization as early as Monday. The International Atomic Energy Agency released a report last month saying Japan's water release plan is consistent with international safety standards. More than 10 countries reportedly indicated their support for the plan. South Korea has called for a transparent approach based on science. To the more updates. Before that, let's have a quick look into the highlights of the site. China has become the world's largest ship owner in terms of gross tonnage, according to the latest data from Clarkson Research, a world-renowned shipping research institution. Data shows that at present, the fleet held by Chinese ship owners has reached a total of 249.2 million gross tons in displacement, accounting for 15.9% of the world market. This year, more than 80% of all new ship buildings ordered for the company came from Chinese ship owners. Experts said the shipyards are also cooperating with the shipping industry to further improve working efficiency. Now we are moving on to sports news. Lionel Messi scored a screamer and won his first trophy in North American football as Inter Miami beat Nacional on penalties after their final ended 1-1 in 90 minutes. The Argentine World Cup winner had put Miami ahead in the 24th minute with the wonder strike into the top corner, but Fafa Ficalt leveled for Nacional in the second half after Leonardo Campana missed a last-second chance to win the game in regulation for Miami. The game went to a shootout, which ended in a duel between the two keepers and Elliott's shot being saved by Miami's Drake. The 7-time Ballon d'Or winner has now scored 10 goals in 7 games in the pink shirt of his new club, and on Wednesday has the chance. Well, with this, we come to the end of this news bulletin. But before we say goodbye, quick reminders of the headlines once again. Meeting of the House of Representatives called for 1 p.m. Speaker Gimire holding talks with Chief Whips to smoothen Parliament's proceedings. PM Dali fought for of ending House obstruction, summons a meeting with the leaders of nationally recognized parties. Niger coup leader proposes 3-year transition to civilian rule, also warns any military intervention will not be a walk in the park for those involved. Well, this is all we have for this moment. Until our next bulletin, have a good day ahead. Namaste.